Hi guys, my name is Christina Johnson. I'm doing my informative report on the Youngstown Mafia and how it influenced Youngstown. The Mafia is known for their dirty business, killings, and anything money related. Mostly in major cities, the Mafia controlled almost everything. But I want to inform you guys on the influence of the Mafia in Youngstown and the different types of families they had here and the type of stuff that was going on and that was ran by them. As you guys know, this mafia started in Italy. It was Sicily in the early 19th century, and they were called the mafia. Later on, they moved to America in the 1920s and came to power. Although they were separate from the Sicilian mafia, they shared the same kind of traditions and values. The mafia started influencing Youngstown in 1933. With this started the downfall of the notorious bank robber Pretty Boy Floyd. And followed by that was the killing of one of Mahoning Valley's own Happy Marino. During the 1940s, the infamous Jungle Inn was a gambling den in Trumbull County. And at that time, gambling dens like the Jungle Inn were at its peak. Moving on to the 1950s, there was a craze that was referred to as a bug craze, and that's what they used as a nickname for the numbers game. At this time, there was a battle for dominance between two mobsters. Their names were Sandy Naples and Vince De Niro. Their fight for power resulted in a bombing war. A bunch of people who were affiliated with the mobsters in Youngstown at that time would usually get bombs strapped to their car and obviously get their car blown up, and they would do that back and forth. De Niro became head when Sandy Naples was shotgunned alongside his girlfriend. Later in that year, his brother Billy Naples was killed in a car bombing, suspected to be the work of De Niro. Just 2 weeks after, on July 17, 1961, Vince De Niro's car was wired with a bomb, and he was also killed. There are many different mob families in Youngstown at that time. There was Sam Perry's family. There's Sandy Naples, Billy Naples, Vince De Niro, and there was also Lenny Strollo, Ronald Carabia, Charles Cavallaro, and Joseph DiCarlo. They really don't say which family was the most powerful. They just kind of list them. But still, for Youngstown being such a small city, there were a lot of head guys. So in conclusion, to much belief, Youngstown was actually just like any other city. It was populated with mob activity. At the time the mob influenced Youngstown, it was during the peak of their economic boom. Youngstown was known as a steel city, so at that time they were getting a lot of money. It was a new city. A lot of people were here, so there was a lot of things to do to help the mafia grow. Though the mafia didn't last long in Youngstown. I believe they were here for only about 30 years, if that. But still, Youngstown was influenced by it. It has a part in Youngstown's history. I think what most people don't know is just because Youngstown was such a small city, like, you wouldn't think, oh, you know, like, what would the mafia have to do with, like, anything here? Because if you look at it now, it's such a, like, you know, dying town, like, it's more, like, low economy, like, you wouldn't come here if it, like, because it's not Pittsburgh, you know, it's not New York, it's not such a big, thriving city. Back in these times, New York, Chicago, California, those were the highly populated mob areas that were always talked about. But it's just like any other town. Where there's money, there's power, there's corruption. A bunch of officials here were corrupted by the mafia. There was a mayor, I believe, that was corrupted by them, he was dirty. So really, Youngstown's just like anywhere else. They were influenced by the same things any major city was influenced by. So that was my speech on informing you guys about the Youngstown Mafia, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.